So a couple of days ago, I told a story about the piece that started my collection, basically highlighting the first bong that I bought when I lived in Colorado about 8 years ago. Telling that story brought back a little nostalgia for me, and my video yesterday about the hockey puck dabs also brought back a little nostalgia, and while I was scrolling through my old photos to find the hockey puck picture, I found a picture, the very first picture I ever took of my 30-inch Magic Buzz bong, my OG lung buster. Now that's the biggest piece I've ever had. Unfortunately, I don't have it anymore. I do have another 30-inch beaker that I was able to replace it with later. But the Magic Buzz 30-inch bong was just so much girthier. The tube on it was like twice as wide. It was like this big around, and it held so much smoke. But I want to tell the story of the day that I got it because, oh my God, it was a good time. And a super great day for me overall. So I actually look back at my photos and I got the bong in January 2016, over 6 years ago. And I got it after a day of snowboarding. I used to go to Loveland ski area a lot in Colorado. It's like a little bit west of Denver. It was about a 2.5 hour drive from where I lived in Colorado Springs, but it was one of the closer ski areas that you could go to snowboard. So I ended up getting a season pass there, and I went there a ton of times. But usually when I would go, I'd go with my girlfriend and her friend, and we would typically go to the easier area. They had it broken up into like 2 parts, like a beginner area. That was okay. They had some harder stuff to do. And they had an advanced area that I actually hadn't been to yet. I was just getting into snowboarding. I've probably only done it a handful of times, maybe not even 10 times yet. But the day that I went snowboarding, I ended up going by myself. So on the way over, I was like, you know what? Let's step our game up today. Let's go to the advanced portion or go to the harder side. So I'm all pumped up. I'm hyped about this. I'm driving over. It's like a 2.5 hour drive. You could get there in about 2 hours even if there was zero traffic, but there was never zero traffic. On my drive over, this might be the most memorable part of the whole excursion, but on my drive over, there was just some weird asshole on the road that was like tailgating me, or I don't know what they were doing. They were doing crazy shit, but they were like fucking with me the whole time I was driving for a good like 10 or so minutes while I was driving. I don't remember, like, I don't think I cut them off or anything. Just somebody like picked me and they were like, let's fuck with this car on the road. They kept driving up really close behind me and like honking and flashing their lights. And then they'd pull up next to me and like just do like crazy faces and like flick me out. I had no idea what was happening. And they were like getting weird with it, like kind of swerving into me when they were next to me. They made it seem like they were gonna try to hit me, but not actually do it. It was very weird. But I'm driving, I'm going like 70 miles an hour in a vehicle and somebody's acting weird. I'm like, I don't want to get in an accident because some weirdo. And it was a 2-lane road that I was on at the time. So I was like, maybe I can just merge in front of somebody and I can get another car near me. Maybe I could just get boxed around some other cars and they'll just get bored and then like fuck off or whatever. So I'm like trying to get away from this car a little bit. And they were just relentless. They were like nonstop following me. And it was getting weird. So I remember at one point I was just like, fuck it, dude, let's just speed up and we'll just fucking go. Maybe I can get them trapped behind 2 cars where they can't get around. And then I can just clear some distance and then maybe pull off on an exit for a second or just get so far away that they're not going to find me again. Well, it's getting weird. They're just like racing. It was like a Fast and the Furious scene where we're just getting a little bit faster and a little bit faster. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And eventually at the one point, I'm going probably 20, 25 miles an hour over the speed limit. But I'm like, oh my God, I think these people are like, they're trying to make me get into an accident or something. They're doing the weird shit when they're driving. And eventually at the one point, I remember I pulled out in front of a car. They whipped right behind me. And then the car right behind them immediately flashes some lights on, like police lights. It wasn't a cop car. It was like an undercover cop car. Like you couldn't tell. It didn't have the lights on top. It was like one of those SUVs, and you just see like right along the dash, all the lights come on. And they're obviously like, what the fuck are these cars doing? I'm going to pull these bastards over going 25 miles an hour over the speed limit. So the car that was antagonizing me is right behind me. They had the undercover cop car right behind them. And I'm like, for a second, oh, fuck, dude, there's a cop car. I'm getting pulled over for speeding. And I'm like, bro, just fucking go. They can't pull over 2 cars. Have you ever seen multiple cars pulled over? I used to see this a lot in Colorado, but there would be like 1 cop car and then 2 cars pulled over. I'd see it all the time and I'm like, how did they pull over 2 people? Like, you'll never get me as the second car you're pulling over. You won't get me. You're getting the guy behind me, obviously, and not me. I just kept going. That car obviously got pulled over for speeding. Maybe they got a ticket for speeding. Hopefully they got a ticket for like reckless driving and doing crazy shit. But I really don't know. I just left. I went snowboarding. I was like 20 minutes away from the ski area, so I just kept going. But there was like this 10-minute, 20-minute encounter on the road where this car was just like fucking with me the whole time. And it started to make me nervous towards the end because I'm like, bro, they're not stopping. I think they're trying to get me into an accident. So to this day, I literally have no idea why. I don't know why. I don't think that I did anything malicious while I was driving. Somebody was just like, yo, fuck that guy. So after the weird encounter on the road, I ended up at the ski area. I did go to the advanced section for the first time. It was incredible. It was very nice to just be able to chill, try some new stuff, try new courses that I hadn't been on. Because I was actually a little bit nervous. I thought it was going to be much more difficult of a course, but they had like a lot of beginner stuff that I was able to do and some intermediate stuff that I was able to do. So I had a really good day overall, just exploring the new ski area. So nothing too crazy went on there, but on the way home, I was having such a good day. I was on cloud 9. I was like, this motherfucker was trying to kill me on the road, and then they got pulled over, and I just get away. Then I go to this new ski area, the advanced part I'd never been before, and it was awesome. I didn't fall once, I don't think. I just had a really nice, good, smooth ride the whole day. So on my about 2.5 hour drive home, I had less traffic than I typically encountered. So I wasn't getting home like super late. And on my way home, about 10-15 minutes before I got there, there was one of my favorite head shops. I think it was called Blown Smoke Shop in Colorado Springs. I think they're called Bomb Head Shop now. But I used to go there a lot. I spent enough there some months to pay their rent. Like, I bought a lot of glass there. But I saw this Magic Buzz 30-inch beaker, and I was like, oh my God, I need that. It was paired with an ash catcher, 30 inches tall, one of the biggest bongs. Just in terms of how like wide the tube was, it was so big. I pick up this bong, I think I got it for like around 300 with the ash catcher. But I remember driving home with it, and right before I went home, there was a 7-Eleven by my house. I remember looking at the big chamber going, I want to fill that son of a bitch with ice. I really don't do ice hits anymore. I don't like them. But at the time in 2016, I fucking loved ice in my bong. And I think I got like a 7-pound bag of ice from 7-Eleven. And literally like the whole bag of ice fit in this chamber. It held so much ice. It was actually wild. Many a times when there was like fresh snow in Colorado Springs, I would just pack the chamber up with snow, like literally just a 30-inch tube of snow. And then I would take like a long stick and just poke a hole through so you could get airflow. I had a lot of fun with this bong. Unfortunately, I don't have it anymore. It broke recently after I moved to Florida, after I was able to do my no hands hit, if you've seen that clip of me hitting it with my feet. But I used to have a shelf on the wall right here where this poster is. And just one day the shelf gave out and fell and landed on it and broke the joint. I was so sad. I was so sad. One of my favorite pieces, just for the nostalgia, just because I like to look back on that day and go, that was like a really good day. I had a little bit of adversity in the early part of the day, but then I just had a dank old day of snowboarding, and then I had a big old 30-inch bong to smoke afterwards. It was awesome. I have a pretty popular clip where I do a 722 full rotations in the air and almost break the bong I'm talking about before it actually broke. I bump the shelf, it falls over, I save it. If you want to check out that clip, I just started a new Clips YouTube channel. They've been giving me a lot of crap for this one, but I've launched a couple other channels to help spread my content out. So if you look in the description below, I have a links to a Clips channel where I'm going to be posting a lot of shorter clips that do occur on my live streams or from other things. So sub to the Cewpins Clip channel, and I'll also put a link to my Cewpins Gaming channel if you're interested in checking out me game. Don't forget to follow my Twitch. We go live after 9 p.m. Eastern for a smoke sesh. And I'll post the picture that I found of that 30-inch lung buster full of ice on my Instagram, Cewpins420 on IG, if you want to see that. But if you want to hear my opinion on big bongs versus small bongs and what's better, check out this video right here. I hope you have a lit day, my dudes.